Good afternoon, my lovely followers. It's your girl, Tara. We are back once again for another of our lovely walk-in chats. I really look forward to talking to you guys every day. I wanted to have the conversation we're having today yesterday, but like I said in my last video, it was just like absurdly late. And I just did not have the time or energy to make a long-winded video, you know? But today, we will discuss the topic of Zionism. Before we begin, as usual, I wanted to say, I am not an anti-Semite. There are plenty of good Jews out there. I'm not against all Jews. There are organizations such as Jewish Voice for Peace and individuals such as Norman Finkelstein who are good Jews and good organizations, and I stand by them. I stand by their message. I am not an anti-Semite. If you are not a Zionist, if you are not one of the warmongers supporting a genocide in Gaza, then you can just disregard everything I'm about to say in this video, because this is not directed at you if you are a good Jew. Please understand that before I begin, that I am not directing this at you. I'm only directing it at a certain segment within your community that does these things. And I also, once again, want to clarify that I do not condone violence. I am not encouraging violence. I do not encourage any of my lovely followers to do anything violent. I just want that disclaimer out of the way, those two disclaimers, before I begin, to make those things abundantly clear. You know, I may say some offensive things in this video, but it is not directed at good Jews. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, let's move on to the topic at hand. Zionism. In a previous video, we touched upon the history of Zionism. How it started with a man in England called John Nelson Darby, and eventually spread to America and was promoted by a false prophet named Cyrus Scofield. Who really took this fringe idea of Zionism and made it popular. We discussed that in the previous video. As I said there, if you want an in-depth video on that, the channel Bruce Gore on YouTube has one. If you haven't watched that yet, I'd highly recommend you do. There's also some great channels on this YouTube channel. Some on my anti-Zionist playlist that debunk it both from a secular perspective and a religious perspective that debunk it. So you can go check those out. They're a great source of information. And let's begin. I know I've already been talking for 4 minutes. I apologize. I'm a chatterbox today. I am a chatty girl. Where to begin? Do we begin with the evangelical Zionist lobby, these stupid religious freaks, these retards? These evangelical retards who are trying to start World War III for their prophecy? Because they think if they support Israel, if they support the Zionist apartheid state, it will make Jesus come back sooner. Which is just the most bizarre crap I've ever heard. You know who I'm talking about. You know CBN, the Christian Broadcast Network. You know the people who do wall-to-wall propaganda from dusk till dawn on behalf of Israel. on behalf of the Zionist apartheid state. They never shut up about it. And then they wonder why people are fleeing religion. They wonder why people are abandoning churchianity in droves. It's because Zionist churchianity is a cult. It is a warmongering cult that does not care about us whatsoever. Does not care about the people who live in this country and want decent futures. They do not care. They will sell out their kids' futures to make Israel more powerful and happier. They do not care. They will sacrifice their kids on it. They will sacrifice their kids on the altar of Zionism. I mean, why else? Why? They are the reason we were in a 20-year war in the Middle East that benefited no one but the Zionist apartheid state. We didn't benefit from it. And if you're one of those people, if you're one of those evangelical wackaloon cultists, one of them crazy people, like, don't even come in my comments with that, "We will bless those that bless you" crap. Like, no, that's silly. That is silly. That's stupid. It's like we have blessed the crap out of Israel for 20 years, and what the heck has it got us? It's gotten us wars. It's gotten us, you have to get patted down to get on an airplane because of a certain event that happened in New York that I can't mention. YouTube would not like me to mention. We have all this debt. We have all this war. Like, we have not been blessed. We have been cursed since supporting Israel. Like, it's their fault. But these dumb evangelicals, these retarded churchianity losers, are on here whining and crying that if we abandon support for Israel, God is going to abandon us. Like, no. God abandoned Israel 2,000 years ago. Like, you churchianity people should, like, pick up a history book and actually educate yourselves for once, It's like you should learn about the destruction of the temple in 70 AD. You see, that was God's divorce decree to Israel. He cut them off. He's done. That was their chance. They had their chance to repent and become part of the new covenant, to repent of their unbelief, and they wouldn't do it. They were hard-headed. They were stubborn. They were stiff-necked. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that, oh, if you bless them, God will bless you. No, he won't. We have blessed the crap out of them, and all we have gotten is debt, war, and less freedom than ever in the last 20 years. So no, I don't want to hear it. That's completely debunked. It's like Rome completely butchered the Jews in 70 AD. And Rome didn't collapse for hundreds of years after that. So no. God abandoned them 2,000 years ago. I don't want to hear it anymore. That's just one of their points debunked. It's like, I'm going to get to the rest. And just how stupid and insidious this cult is. Sorry, frog in my throat. This stupid, insidious cult that controls our government. They have an ironclad grip on the balls of both parties. And they pay them off to do their bidding, the hook-nosed mafia. And people are waking up to it. Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Nick Fuentes. Even though I don't agree with everything those people say, it's like, what else are you going to do? For real. Nobody else has the balls to call a spade anymore and call out who the problem is. And it's the Zionists. They have run our country into the ground. They're not the only problem, but they are definitely in the top 3 of problem groups within this country that are making us spiral into collapse. The Zionists, the hook-nosed mafia, as I call them. Yep, that's what we're ranting about today. We're ranting about Zionism and its control over our government. You know, like, I expect the people who I elect to work for me. I expect them to get in office and do their job that I elected them to do and make my life better. That's what they're there for. They're not there to line the pockets of Zionist bankers. They're not there to serve Israel. They are there to make my life as good as possible. And they are failing. Like, our economy is in the crapper. And we're tired of it. We don't need another war. We don't need another war. Like, they are losing support among the general population. It is hemorrhaging. It is hemorrhaging. Their support is hemorrhaging among the general population. And everybody's whining about so-called anti-Semitism. It's like, what do you expect? Like, you keep ignoring us in favor of a foreign apartheid state, and you ignore our basic needs. You refuse to actually address our issues or any of the things impacting our lives as young people and as taxpayers in America. You don't care. You want to just ignore us. You want to replace us. You don't want to make our lives better. They don't serve us. They serve the lobbyists. They serve the corporate Zionist interests, you know, like AIPAC. The AIPAC. AIPAC should be illegal. They should be banned from doing business in this country. Fully illegal. Arrest them. Like, if their members are here, put them in jail. Make it illegal. Lock them all up. You know, I know this might be controversial, but I think we should, like, use ICE for something else. I think we should use ICE. Instead of using them to deport the illegal immigrants, we should use them to deport the Zionists. Because the Zionists are a way bigger threat than Jose down at Home Depot, you know? Like, they're doing these insidious things in our government. Look, I'm not saying I agree with illegal immigration. That's like a whole can of worms I don't care to get into right now. But, like, Zionism is one of the biggest threats to our country. Zionist and Zionist money that pays off our politicians to do things that go against our interests. But yeah, ICE should be rounding them up and deporting them. Deport the Zionists. You know, I'm not calling for any violence against them. I just think they should be arrested and deported. You know, just don't hurt them. Just arrest them. Put them on a plane. Kick them out. If they're a U.S. citizen, then take away their citizenship. Kick them out. Like, take all their assets they have in America and kick them out with the clothes on their back. Seize their bank accounts. Seize their homes. Seize their vehicles. And kick them out. Send them on a cheap one-way flight to Israel. Israel, I mean. I call them Israel because they're not the Israel of the Bible. They're not worthy of carrying that name. That Israel ended in 70 AD. And the modern apartheid state they're not the real Israel. They're Israel. They're the false, they're the counterfeit. They're Satan's Israel. The satanic devils that carry out war crimes that we are forced to pay for. You know, like, my theme of ICE arresting Zionists, like, imagine this. Imagine, like, we should have a show. We should have Dog the Bounty Hunter arresting Zionists. He can be Dog the Zionist Hunter. We'll write him a new theme song. Like, the pilot episode of this show needs to be Dog the Bounty Hunter arresting Ben Shapiro at 3 a.m. Just kick in that little weasel's door and slap cuffs on him. Pepper spray him. And deport him. And again, I'm not calling for any form of violence. I just want these people to be arrested and deported. I don't want them harmed. There's no need for that. They just need to be arrested and deported. And I think that would be a wonderful show. I would watch the crap out of that. Like Dog the Zionist Hunter. And any politician who has dual citizenship needs to be kicked out of office. Needs to be kicked out of office and banned from ever running again. And probably deported. Probably deported. It's like, remember when Thomas Massey was walking around in Congress with his IDF uniform? Yeah. That crap made me mad. It's like, come on. You represent America. Why are you wearing a foreign uniform in the halls of Congress? Like, what if he was wearing a Chinese uniform? Then you'd have half the Republican Party losing their minds. If some Chinese congressperson, Chinese American, went in there and put on a Chinese military uniform and was wearing it in Congress, like, you think they'd tolerate that for 1 second? No. What we have, my lovely followers, is a double standard. If you did that for any other country, you would be thrown out. People would lose their minds. Oh, but you do it for the Zionist apartheid state, for Israel, for the devil's counterfeit Israel, and it's okay. And no, they're not God's children. They're not. They haven't been for a long time. They turned their back on God. It's like he divorced them in 70 AD. He's done with them. He's done with them. We're Israel now. Like, look, I'm not going to get into the whole religious thing. You can look it up on my channel. There's some great videos on my anti-Zionist playlist that explain how it is. How it's a spiritual Israel now. And this nonsense. Like, they're done. They're dumb. And honestly, I'm 17 minutes in. And I haven't even gotten to, like, the biggest part of the issue yet. With the crazy evangelical Zionists. Like them. And have any of my lovely followers heard about the red heifer? Okay, get a load of this, guys. Like, get a load of this. This is cray-cray. There is a bunch of religious freaks, a bunch of evangelical retards, who are going to try to sacrifice a magic red cow so they can build the temple. But in order to build the temple, they have to sacrifice the magic red cow, you know? They do. And I don't know the specifics. I'm pretty sure you probably have to, like, cast soul trap on it and, like, before you kill it. Before you kill the cow, sacrifice it. So you can sacrifice it and its soul can be sucked into, like, the soul gem in the Wailing Wall and power the magic Jesus signal to make him come back. It's going to be like the bat signal. You know, the soul of the cow is going to go into it when you cast soul trap on it. And it's going to power the magic Jesus signal, and it's going to shine up in the sky. It's going to shine a big cross in the sky. And then the Danny Elfman Batman theme is... They're going to start playing the Danny Elfman Batman theme. And then he's going to come back. He's going to come flying down while the Danny Elfman Batman theme is blasting. It's like, okay, obviously I'm joking. Obviously I'm making fun of them. But that's essentially, like, okay, there's not going to be a Danny Elfman Batman theme. There's not going to be a magic Jesus signal. And there's not going to be any soul trapping. Which, honestly, I doubt any of these evangelicals are, like, level 50 in conjuration anyway. There's no way they could even do a soul trap if they wanted to. Oh, you hear the helicopter? Yeah, apparently the helicopter is choosing to do a flyover while I'm recording. Great. It's like, hey, helicopter. You hear them? Whatever, it's not like they knew that I was recording. Anyway, that was a joke that I was about the whole red heifer sacrifice thing. I mean, it's not a joke, they are sacrificing the red heifer. It's just that all that other stuff was a joke. I'm making fun of them, you know? Because you gotta make fun of these people, man. It's ridiculous. Like, they believe this crap. This is who we're controlled by in the 21st century. That we're controlled by some deranged Bronze Age cult that wants to sacrifice the red cow so they can build them temple. And somehow that's going to make Jesus come back. Because some book said so. Because some guy's interpretation of an old book says so. You know, some Zionists' interpretation of the Bible says so. And they're like, who cares, bro? Like, why are these people running our society? Like, what in the world happened to separation of church and state? Like, these wackaloons who control our society, these crazy people who believe in this cult. It's bullcrap. Like, how come we're paying for this with our tax dollars? Like, I don't care, bro. Like, I don't care what your religion says. That doesn't mean crap. Like, get it out of our government. Get it out of Congress. Like, you guys don't get to make foreign policy decisions based upon your religion any more than I get to make foreign policy decisions because, like, my imaginary friend tells me something. It's like, it's ridiculous. Get that crap out of the government. We're tired of it. Like, if you guys want to fund this crap, do it with your own money, on your own time, and leave the taxpayers out of it. Why are we paying for this? Why? This is just my rant, you know? Me ranting and joking about them, because that's the best way you can do it. You can just make fun of them like I did. Because it's a joke. It's stupid. It's silly. It's ridiculous. It's a bunch of man-made nonsense. It's an ideology that was invented less than 300 years ago by a con man. And it deserves to be ridiculed. Zionism deserves to be ridiculed and mocked because it's stupid. It's ridiculous. It's a joke. And it deserves to be laughed out of existence. Like, laugh them out of existence. Treat them like a joke. Treat their whole ideology like a joke. Like a sad joke. Because it is. Like, it's a threat, but it's also just a joke. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. It's retarded. Like, yeah, I want my money. I want my tax dollars to give me a better life. Like, not some hook-nosed war criminal on the other side of the world. And yeah, I'm anti-Israel. I am. We should cut all support for them. We should cut all aid to them. We should kick the Zionists out of Congress and the White House and elect someone who actually represents us. You know, if that's possible. We should elect someone who actually represents us. Even though that's kind of impossible to do because both sides are paid off by these people. But hey, we should still try, you know. This is bringing back national divorce, what I talked about a few videos ago. This is why I truly believe national divorce is our only real escape option. Because everything is bought and paid for. Like, we can try to elect people, but it won't work. At least not on the federal level. But our government is owned by Israel. Like, our government is like a bunch of hook-nosed, conniving war criminals have our government by the balls. And they are just squeezing the crap out of them. You know those squishy balls when you're a kid? Where you just squeeze it and it just pops out the side, the little squishy ball? Well, that's what they got. That's our politicians' testicles. They have an ironclad grip on their testicles. And they are just squeezing for all it's worth. They just completely control them. And I don't care. I don't care if I'm labeled an anti-Semite for saying this. I don't care. Like I said at the start of this video, I'm not an anti-Semite. I don't have a problem with non-Zionist Jews. I'm just tired. I'm tired of not being put first. I'm tired of the corruption. I'm tired of a foreign apartheid state getting more consideration than actual Americans who pay taxes and live here. You know? And if that makes me anti-Semitic, then I guess I'll just have to be labeled that. I don't care. Label me whatever you want. I'm not going to shut up. Like, this needs to end. This is ridiculous. You know, we can still have a peaceful national divorce. And really, that's the only thing that's going to save us. Because the system is broken. Like, the Zionist war criminals and a number of other groups have got our politicians by the balls. And they fully intend to keep squeezing until there's no juice left. They even want a funding bill. They want a funding bill passed to give them funding for the next 20 years. Because they see what's coming. They know they're about to lose. They know that when my generation finally gets in power and these old, stupid boomers are finally retired, they finally decide to retire because they're so old. They're like nothing but skin and bones. They're going to shuffle off to their rest home and go watch reruns of old boomer shows. They're going to sit in front of the TV, drugged out of their minds, and watch Andy Griffith. My goodness. I tell you what. I know it sounds like I'm angry, but this ranting is good for the soul. I truly believe it. Like, it's good to get all this stuff out and just talk about it and just put it out there into the world. Because I know that there is a ton of people out there who agree with me. Like, I know the talking heads are losing their power. The media is losing its power. The truth is getting out there. People are waking up. They're noticing. The great noticing. Everybody's becoming aware of the hook-nosed mafia. And it doesn't matter what you label us, we're going to keep talking. We're going to keep saying these things. Because everybody's tired. Everybody's fed up. And I know these videos could probably be better. This is not like me sitting down and making like a video where I do a ton of research and like, this is just me talking. This is just me speaking off my chest and talking to you guys, to my lovely followers. And just like sharing my feelings. Just my raw feelings. Because I know I'm not alone. And like in the future, I would like to do a better job on my videos and how to do a bit more research and present you guys some good facts. You know, do my reading, do my studying, and do all that stuff. And I've already done quite a bit. I have plenty of resources on my channel. But it's just like, I feel like this is good. Just us having these conversations. Where it's like, do you guys notice this? Do you see the things I see? Are you angry about the things I'm angry at? Because I know you are. I know there's lots of people are. Like, there's tons of channels popping up now of people from my generation who are just tired of this crap. And some are more left-wing and some are more right-wing, but we all agree. We're tired of the status quo. We're tired of the powers that be crapping on us every chance they get. We have no future. Like, we're not going to be able to afford anything in the future. You're going to be lucky to have a pot to crap in. They're going to take everything from you. And I think that needs to be the topic of my next video. I think I need to talk about the coming corporate hellscape. And how they're going to just ruin your life. How the oligarchy hates you. The Zionists hate you. They want to replace you. They want to impoverish you. They want you to be miserable. They want you to live in a tiny little cubicle and eat bugs. You know? They hate us. They absolutely hate us. And the politicians are in their pockets. Okay, like I think I've had a good long rant on Zionism and how they have an ironclad grip on the balls of our politicians. They control us. They are the reason we were in the Middle East for 20 years. And we got nothing for our efforts. All we succeeded in doing was destabilizing an entire region of the world, causing a mass immigration crisis in Europe, and getting ourselves in over $20 trillion worth of debt. So our dollars are now worthless. Oh, and yeah, now you got to get patted down to get on an airplane because of a certain event. You know? You have no freedom. Like, I hear people defend the war on terror and say, oh, it was for freedom, to defend our freedom. Well, I'm sorry, but if that was to defend our freedom, they did a piss poor job. We have less freedom than ever before. So no, they're not defending our freedom. That's not what it was for. It was to enrich the oligarch class and the Zionists. Like, okay, I think I'm gonna bring this video to a close. I hope all my lovely followers have a good day. I hope you guys enjoy whatever it is you're doing. I would encourage you to please like and subscribe and all that streamer stuff. You know, I know my videos are kind of cheap right now. I'm just making them on a cell phone. But one day I'll get like actual cameras and microphones and stuff that make good quality videos for you guys. Just bear with me. I am a writer. I'm kind of busy with projects. But once my first book is done and I find someone to publish it, like I really want to get more into streaming. I want to stream more. Because this is going to be a big part of my career, you know? I had always intended for streaming to be, but like here recently I've just been on a kick, you know? I've just been like chomping at the bit. I just had to start making videos. And you know what? I don't regret it. I think it was a great decision. You got to start somewhere. And I love doing this for you guys. So yeah, like, thank you to all of my lovely followers. I enjoy this. I enjoy talking with you. You're a big part of my day. And I hope you enjoy your day and whatever you're doing. I hope you succeed at it. And we're off.